Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Junior Mathematical Challenge Information Event. So just a quick announcement. We'll be recording this session today because some of the parents who can't attend, we'll be sending them a recording. So everyone is welcome to keep their videos off if you want, but this session will be recorded, yeah? So before we jump into it, let's look at what we are going to cover today. So we'll start with a brief introduction to the Junior Mathematical Challenge and the Junior Mathematical Olympiad, that is the JMC and JMO. Understand what exactly these are. We'll be looking at the JMC 2024 program we have to help students prepare for these exams. We'll discuss briefly about our results from last year. I'll have a small discussion around my profile as a tutor. We'll do a short Q&A round. And then finally, we'll invite you to a trial class later in the month. So like I mentioned, there's a small Q&A round at the end. So as we go through the presentation, if something pops into your mind, please put it in the chat and we'll take as many questions as possible towards the end. Yeah. Hopefully that's okay, guys. Let's move on. Let's talk about what is the JMC and what is the JMO. So the Junior Mathematical Challenge or JMC, it's an annual exam which is conducted by the United Kingdom Mathematical Trust or UKMT. Now, UKMT is a charity which is set up with the aim of promoting mathematics. Yeah, so they hold these contests every year. As per the UKMT website, the aim of the challenge is to encourage mathematical reasoning, precision of thought, mathematical rigor, and frequency in using basic mathematical techniques. So quite a lot of difficult sounding words there, but we'll understand what exactly it means in the next couple of slides. Yeah. So first, let's understand how the JMC and the JMO work. So JMC is an exam, like I said, which is taken by students every year. And students who do well in the JMC are also invited to participate in the Junior Kangaroo and the Junior Mathematical Olympiad. So these are stage 2 of the same exam, that is a Junior Mathematical Challenge. If students do well, then they're invited into the subsequent stages. Yeah. So in 2023, the reward threshold was the total possible score in the Junior Mathematical Challenge was 135. And top 50%, that is with a score of 52%, you would have gotten a bronze medal. If you were in the top 20% of all students taking the exam, that translated into a score of 66 plus out of 135, you would have got a silver medal. Top 10 was a score of 82 plus, that would have netted you a gold medal in the JMC. And similarly, the top 10,000 students are invited into the Junior Kangaroo, which translated into a score of 88 plus. And top 1200 only are invited into the Junior Mathematical Olympiad, which translates into a score of 113 plus. So hopefully this gives you an idea on how difficult it is to get into the Junior Mathematical Olympiad and all the various reward criteria in the JMC. So let's go to the next slide. Now, who is this contest open for? The Junior Mathematical Challenge is open to all students who are in year 8 or below in England. Yeah. So that generally it's taken by students in year 7 and year 8. But because in year 6, children are in primary schools. But some primary schools also allow children to sit for this. So if your child is in a primary school, definitely talk to the school and just ascertain if they are going to be allowing students to sit for this exam. Yeah. Second question is, how do we register for the exam? So currently, only schools are allowed to register for the JMC. So tuition centers like ourselves cannot register directly. Only schools are allowed to register for the JMC. So in case you want your child to appear for this, definitely talk to your school to ensure that they are going to participate. Most secondary schools and even if for you primary schools allow students to sit for this exam. So if your child is in secondary school, there is a very high probability that the school is going to participate anyways. But it's worth checking with them. Yeah. When does the challenge take place? The challenge takes place in April. So for next year, the date is 25th of April 2024. And if your child gets selected into the subsequent stages, that happens around 1.5 months after that. So June is going to be the time when mid of June, when Junior Kangaroo and Junior Mathematical Olympiad. Yeah. Now, let's talk about Junior Mathematical Olympiad. Now, Junior Mathematical Olympiad is known as one of the most coveted accolade for students in who are in year 8 and below. So that means it's one of the toughest exams they're going to take, and it really requires a lot of precise mathematical thinking. Now, in terms of award thresholds, so if your child is invited to sit for the Junior Mathematical Olympiad, uh, so top 40% of the students who appear for the exam, they are awarded of merit. Top 25 get a certain distinction, and 200 get a medal. So this equates to less 1% of the students which actually take the JMC. So getting a medal in Junior Mathematical Olympiad is not a easy feat. It's really, really challenging, but really, really rewarding as well. So top 200 students who rank between 100 and 200 get a bronze medal. A rank of 41 to 100 will get you a silver medal, and top 40 get a gold medal. Yeah. Now, what is required for a child to do well in the JMC and the JMO? It requires a lot of hard work. It requires a very good command over mathematical fundamentals. You can't do well in JMC or JMO without this. And it requires a true passion for mathematics. So only if you have a true passion, are you going to do really well in the JMO, because the kind of questions are so varied, and you can't always anticipate all kind of questions that are going to come. So you truly need to have a passion for mathematics to really do well in this exam. Now, my personal profile, I am the owner of oxbridgeinstitute.co.uk. I am a dual MBA from Oxford University and Indian Institute of Management, Lucknow. I have always been associated with education. I have been an admission consultant for students looking to gain admission into the top B schools globally. And I've always been a private tutor, helping students with business school subjects like data analytics, marketing, etc. So I started this business 5 years ago. And if we look at our last year results, we had 11 students in total who gave the JMC. More than 90%, that is 10 out of 11, got a gold certificate in JMC, and one child got a silver certificate. 3 students were invited to the JMO round, as well as 6 were invited to the Kangaroo round. So last year was the first time we did the JMC batches, and we got a really good result last year. And this year we are hoping to get an even better result. Yeah. Now our main batches for the JMC preparation are going to start in January, because that is when a lot of parents start thinking about JMC. But we are looking to start one batch in October. And what that means is students who start early, they will just get more exposure to different exam papers, will be doing more past papers and a little bit of extra theory as well. Yeah. So the earlier you start, the better it is, especially if you're targeting the Olympiad. Yeah. Now the key feature of our classes is we have small batches, so between 5 to 7 students each. Classes are held weekly via Zoom. Personal attention, so because it's a small batch, I constantly engage with all students, and students can't just watch the lesson. They have to get involved. I keep asking various students to solve a question on screen with me, so children do get that engagement. We do have a lot of custom material and mock exams which we ourselves have made, so students get access to that. We do a lot of past papers. So we do papers from past years, Junior Maths Challenge, Junior Maths Olympiad, Junior Kangaroo. We do all of these past papers, and that's a very good resource for preparation. We hold doubt sessions every Saturday. So anything which was covered during the week, or any mock exam which students have done and there's something which they did not understand, so Saturday is the time when we have a specific doubt session. They can bring anything we have covered in the course till that point, and that will be addressed. So this was about our course structure. Now we are going to have some trial classes in September. So we have this list of a survey which will just ask some basic information and also availability for trial classes. So it does have some options. I'm going to paste this link in the chat so you guys have access to this. But you will also get an email by Tuesday, which will have this link as well. So if you don't get it from the chat today, you will get it there. So I have just pasted the link. Let me just see if I can do it in a different format. So I pasted the link, guys. Hopefully you can access it. Let's get back to the presentation. Cool. So once you get the time after the session, the link is in the chat. Please try to fill it as soon as possible, and I'll let you know availability for the trial classes. Now, a couple of normal FAQs which parents ask us, and then we'll go to your specific FAQs as well. Now, what are our expectations of the program first? Participation in the program is a must. So students who become part of the program, we expect them to participate in class. Obviously, I'll be engaging with them throughout. So, not participating is not really an option. But you will be assigned a lot of homework, lot of past papers to complete. You need to make sure that you are following with the program. And that's the best way to, prepare for the exam. From the parents, we have a request, help us spread the word. If you know somebody who might be interested, please do refer them to the program, because the more students we have, and the more students which know each other, the more competitive it is and the better everyone does. Secondly, do give us feedback if there is anything which we can improve, either as part of this presentation or as part of the course. We are always willing to listen to parents and to make amends. So please do that, and take every opportunity to give us feedback. Finally, a couple of FAQs. So which year group is the program recommended for? So JMC is generally given by students who are in year 7 and 8. Like I mentioned, some students in year 6 also give the exam if their primary school allows them to. So ideally, this program is for students in year 7 or 8. But if you are a year 6 student, you are also most welcome to attend. Anything before year 6 is too early, because the kind of questions we will be doing, they do require you to have a certain level of mathematical ability. So year 5 or below might be too early for this program. Yeah. Is my child ready for the JMC? Now, the whole objective of the program is that we'll be taking taking your child through a lot of the past JMC papers, and it will be a guided learning course. So we will be doing a lot of theory in class. We'll be doing a lot of questions in class. So as long as your child has the basic mathematical ability, which is being taught at school, and they are not far behind the school curriculum, it should be fine to be a part of this program. If you have any specific concerns, I'll be sharing my email later. You can always drop me an email, and we can talk about your particular circumstances in more detail. Question number 3, what is the notice period if I don't want to continue with the program? So if you join the program but the child is not able to keep up, or for any other reason you don't want to continue, we generally require a month's notice, and that's all. So it's not a 1-year commitment. If you're not enjoying the program, or if the child is not feeling they can catch up, we do give you an option to drop out. Yeah. Last question, are there any discounts available? So the cost of the program, like I shared in the last couple of screens, was £100 a month. So that's the complete cost of the program. That includes access to past papers, to all of our custom materials, classes, doubt sessions, everything. If you are a parent who's working in NHS, in the fire service, in the police, we do offer a 25% discount. So please get in touch. We would need some form of ID, etc., and then you can have that discount. Hopefully that makes sense. In terms of contact information, my email is sumit@oxbridgeinstitute.co.uk. Please note this down. A copy of this PPT will come to you on Tuesday as well when you get that email. So you don't need to note this down if you don't want to. Drop me an email if there's any specific query, and we can address that. There is a live chat button on our website as well. It's manned most of the time, not all of the time, but you can drop an email and a query there as well. Yeah. So guys, with this, we come to the end of the presentation. I can see some comments in the chat. So if there are any questions, we'll take them up one by one. If you have any queries, please put it in the chat. Okay. Okay, the first query is roughly how many students write the JMC every year? So I believe around 70,000 students write the JMC every year. So a lot of students participate. And let's see if we can actually go back to that slide. Yeah. So around 70 to 80,000 students participate, and only top 10,000 and top 1,200 get invited to the second stage round. Yeah. Somebody is asking, do we coach students for the PMC too? The PMC is the primary maths challenge, that is below year 5, for below year 5 students. We have not set up a primary maths challenge group as of yet. We are asking parents if they are interested. You can register your details. So you can drop me an email at that link. And if we have a sufficient batch size of at least 5 students, we are open to starting those classes. The PMC exam happens in November itself. So it's not very long to go. So if you know friends who are interested and you want a batch to start, if you can get a couple of students, we are happy to start a batch for them. Yeah. Can a student who is currently in year 6 sit for the JMC in April 2024? Yes, like I mentioned, a number of schools do allow students to sit for the JMC. We have had students in the past who were in year 6 who went to the JMC, who actually were asked to give the Olympiad round as well. So there are students who are brilliant in year 6 whose schools support them and they participate and they do really well. Like I mentioned, it is really important to talk to your school to see if they will allow them to sit for the exam, because otherwise, there is no way you can sit if the school doesn't support that. That being said, we have had students in the past who could not sit for the exam because the school did not does not do the JMC in year 6, but still they wanted to continue with this because in year 7 they have got a very good base next year when they go to the secondary school. So it's up to you, because in year 6 students do after the 11 plus, a lot of them don't really have much to do. So a lot of parents do get them into this program. So it's entirely up to you if you want to use that time. Let's see. Somebody's saying I didn't get the link. So guys, I've shared the link in the chat. If you go up, let me reshare it. Okay, hopefully it would have come to you now. I've just reshared it. But in case you don't get this, then you will get it in the email that will come to you on Tuesday. Yeah. Okay, so somebody is saying I missed the initial part of the meeting, but what are the timings and what dates? So I assume you're talking about the classes. So currently we have a couple of options. So if you will go to that link, it will give you the options. Currently we are offering Thursday evenings 5 to 6 or Saturday mornings. I believe it's 10 to 11. So these are the two slots which are open. In case you are very interested in the program and you want a different slot, you can drop me an email and let me know your available times. Like I said, if we have enough students, we are happy to start a session, but we need at least 4 to 5 students to start a particular batch. So we are looking to start one batch in October, and January is when the bulk of our batches started. So we'll be starting 2 to 3 batches in January. So even if you don't get the time now, we will let you know in January what are the timings when we are starting. Yeah. So is the program 1 month long? So the Junior Maths Challenge is going to happen in April next year. So the program, if it starts in January, it continues for 4 months. If it starts in October, it will continue for 7 months. And then there will be a small break while the results come out. And if your child is into the subsequent rounds, then there will be an additional 1 month. So that's the way it's structured. So it's £100 a month. So, and you can leave anytime you want. So hopefully that's quite flexible. So somebody is saying I'm interested in the PMC too. So guys, if you want the PMC batch to start, please drop me an email with your details. Ideally, we need 4 to 5 students. So if you have any parents who want to start this with you, please ask them to drop me an email as well. And if we have 4 to 5 students, we are happy to start a batch on 2 weeks. Okay, very nice question. How many chances are allowed for a kid to appear in the JMC? Can they appear next year again if they are unable to crack it this time? Yes, it doesn't matter how many tries you want. So let's say you give the JMC in year 6, then you can give it again in year 7, you can give it again in year 8. So ideally, students below year 6 don't give it. So you can have 3 chances to sit for the exam. There is no harm in sitting for the exam, even if you don't do well. It's a very good practice. So we would highly encourage students to give it as much as possible. And if your primary school is, up for, if you're in primary school and your school is up for it, why not? Give it for the experience. So somebody shared their email with the group itself. So everyone has your email now. Please don't do that. If you want anything particular, please email me separately. I will drop my email in the chat. So this is my email, which I've shared in the chat, and it should also be on the screen. Let me go to the last screen. So this is my email address. So guys, it was a very quick, short session. In case any other questions, please still feel free to ask. We'll wait for another minute to see if there are any subsequent questions. Otherwise, please go to that link that will ask you for your preferred times for a class, a trial class. And in case you can't make any of those times, we do have a recording of the initial class. We can always provide you with that. So after having a look at that, you can make up your mind if this is a program for you. And then we are hoping to start a batch in October. Yeah. So I think that's the end of the questions. I would like to thank everyone for joining us for this session. Thanks a lot. And I hope to continue to work with you guys in the near future. Yeah. Thanks a lot, everyone. Thanks for attending.